Bill, Grassroots Fitness Project. Richard, I got a workout for you. So, I'm going to take your pulleys, take 1, 10, 15 pound dumbbell. You're going to go through our warm-up series. I think you could find a couple of good warm-ups, part of the Grassroots Fitness YouTube page under daily commitments. I think there's 2 versions out there. We've given people in the last week or so to make sure that they have some of the education and components of a good flexibility program mixed with movement that could act as a warm-up. So probably minimum commitment number 1, if you just want to go get your band pass-throughs, pull-aparts, leg swings side to side, leg swings front to back, that's also a pretty good warm-up. If you want to spend a couple of minutes on the rower, maybe start out with a 500 meter row, then get the band pass-throughs, pull-aparts, then we'll get our nice big leg swings, as big as your flexibility will allow in that lateral part. And we don't really want the spine to move when we're doing the sagittal dynamic leg swings. But after that, feel like you're ready to go. We can challenge you, especially in your legs, for depth and for balance with single leg squats. And then we got some basic single arm rows, and then some basic single arm presses. So what I'm gonna ask for in the legs, and the upper body for that matter, is a very slow rep range. 16 seconds per rep, 8 seconds on the concentric, 8 seconds on the eccentric. So what I would have you do in the studio is I would have you open up with legs, single leg squats. You don't have to do these with weight, right? It's a small increment in weight makes a big difference, because that weight then is going to be that's the load that's going to be on your leg for the entire time. So as you can imagine, 16 seconds over 6 reps. It's over 2 minutes worth of tension on that leg. So let's talk about this single leg squat. I'm going to come down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Points of interest. When I come down, if I have external weight, I'm going to go as far as I can while still keeping my low back curve. What I want to avoid is bending primarily at the hip and not at the knee. That's a single leg deadlift. That's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do without weight is go down to the toe, by all means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up. 2, 3, 4, all the way through to a straight hip. Consider that when we go all the way down, you're going to want to jump out of that squat to a position of advantage before you assume the slow motion. You cannot let that happen, Rich. You have to come all the way through that concentric motion with smooth tempo. 8 seconds down, 8 seconds up. Do both legs. Boom. Then pulley set low. Same thing on that single arm row. There's going to be a lot of tension in your shoulder, biceps, core. I want this in the lunge position. I want you to have your left foot forward when you're working your right arm, and vice versa. And I want you to also be mindful that your scapula, just like in a double-handed row, is retracting backward behind you. 6 reps, 8 seconds concentric, 8 seconds eccentric. Probably give yourself no more than 30 seconds rest. And then we're back to right arm, left leg, back to single arm rows. 4, 5, 7, and good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 reps. Catch your breath. Then we're gonna set that pulley up. We got the single arm. I'm gonna show you with my band, right? Single arm press. The elbow has to be tight to the body. If I'm working my left arm, my right leg is forward. I'm in a nice static lunge position, back heel off the ground. All right, so I'm gonna make this a little bit more tense for me because I'm working with the band. And now with the elbow tight to the body, I want to extend my arms straight under that slow load. All right, remember we're leaning into it slightly. Full range of motion, keeping the belly tight. You want to avoid getting rocked into extension or hyperextension at the back. And you don't really want to twist. We want to make sure that the core is in an anti-rotational capacity, you know, being constricted and avoiding rotation, dissipating rotation while you're going through that press pattern. 6 reps. 8 reps forward, 8 reps backwards, 8 seconds forward, 8 seconds back, 6 times. And then we do it again. 3 rounds. Single leg, single arm pull, other arm pull, press, press. Very little rest between the arms. You can rest when you've done both pulls. Have a little recovery, do both presses, have a little recovery, do both legs, have a little recovery. But between the legs, no recovery. Between the arms, as little recovery as you need to make any adjustments in weights. A little weight goes a long way, especially with the pulls and pushes and with respect to all the movements. So you're only doing this 3 times a round, so maybe lightweight and then try to get at the weight that is going to make you work hard across the 2+ minutes that you're working. I hope this is helpful. Thanks so much. Will, Grassroots, keep it moving.